Okay, what's up guys? I was just working on this project today and I realized that I started making hoses and a lot of the newer Blender people probably don't know how to make hoses. So here's how I make my hoses. This is the completed hose that I kind of was mocking up on this current project I'm working on. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to hide that. Um, I don't have screencast keys on, so I'll try and tell you the shortcuts. Hide is H on the keyboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna come over here to where I want the hose to be. I'm gonna select that. I'm gonna select the face of it. I'm gonna hit Control S and hit cursor to selected. Then I'm gonna go create. I'm gonna do Bezier curve. I'm gonna rotate this 90 degrees on the Z axis, so it's ZR and then 90. And in these settings, I'm gonna do fill full, resolution to 6, and then I'm gonna bump up the bevel depth until it looks about right. So I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to move this back some here. Oops. So that's too big. So this is essentially your hose diameter here. And that's about, I remember what I did last time, so that's about what I had last time. So then I'm going to back this up some more. I'm going to tab into edit mode on this Bezier curve, and you can see it's not a mesh. So you can move these anywhere around, like that. So I'm going to hit Control S. I'm going to do selection to cursor offset. So the offset means that it's not bringing in these two ends. So I'll show you, here's selection to cursor regular. You lose your two ends that you can move around here. So you want it to be offset. So you have part of a hose here now, but it's obviously not to where you want it to be. And you know, we got some bends, we got some curves, you got some droop in there that you'll want to try and make it look right. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to just go ahead, I'm going to extrude, so E, and I'm going to extrude this on the Y axis because I need it to come up here some. And then I'm going to do this again, I'm going to hit E and I'm going to go on the X axis. Probably one more should do it. You don't want to have too many because you want it to look natural and kind of flow through these, but you don't want to have too little because you also want it to look natural and flow. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do 3 here, and I'm going to go and I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other side. I'm going to come up here, hit this face, cursor to selected, and bring the 3D cursor up there. So I'm going to hit tab back into edit mode on the Bezier curve. I'm going to grab this end, I'm going to hit EX, extrude on the X axis again, but this time I'm going to hit Control, cursor to select, and offset again. Alright, so now we got that hose there. It goes from where we started to where we want it to go. Doesn't look very good, does it? So now we need to grab these ends here. I'm going to start at this end because this will make a little bit of difference with what I do down there. So we want to try and make this flow naturally with this, like not even a 45 degree, with this curve here. And we want it to be straight in both axes. So we just keep messing with it until we're happy with what we got. So we got part of it there. So now we're going to decide where we want this point to be. And this is really all that making hoses is. It's not as hard as people make it seem, but it's hard to get a good looking hose. So you can see like this bend right here is a little too sharp. So I'm gonna probably pull it out a little bit there and just move it ahead. So we got the first bend there. It's a little bit too sharp still. So let's pull it like that there. See, and you can see it's not perfect. I'm not going for 100% perfect, like you don't want it to just look like a flat surface. You want it to have some deform, some waves, stuff like that. So we're going to tab back into edit mode on this. We're going to grab this one, and we're going to do the same thing. Just keep moving it. I mean, I like doing it this way. I don't want all my hoses to just look perfect. And this one I know won't even look like the last one I made, so maybe we'll see which one I like a little better. So there we go, we got that curve. Now you can see that we're cutting right through this. So we're going to go ahead and kind of drag this in a straight line, but we're going to move it ahead like that, and we're going to just drag the end down until it looks like it's coming up and over the frame. Well, it technically is coming up and over the frame. So this is floating just a little bit here, so I'm going to just drag this down. That's the center one. So that's how, I mean, it's not perfect. I could fiddle with it a lot longer, but that is how I make my hoses on all of my projects. I go in, I make my fittings, or whatever else I need to do. I do a Bezier curve, and then I just model them like that. When I'm done, say if I was done with this, I would click on the Bezier curve, I'd hit, what is the shortcut? Alt-C, and you're going to do mesh from curve, mesh from curve. And then when you tab back into it, you can see this is a mesh now. I can no longer edit it as a curve. It's completely a mesh. So I just want to make a quick video. I was here working, decided I'd do a quick video. I'm sure I'll do a few more of these. Thanks.